Welcome back to Zach Collects Stuff. Big day coming up tomorrow. Tomorrow, me and 3 of my buddies are going to the National. The National Sports Collectors Convention is in Chicago this year, 2023, and it is the biggest card show, memorabilia show, autograph show, whatever you want to call it, in the country for the year. And every other year it comes back to Chicago, so I make an effort to go there. Bring a decent amount of money just because it's going to cost you some money to buy some cards. Cost about $25 to get in this year for a day pass. Obviously they have the VIP tickets, things that are for the full week, and those are pretty pricey, so I make an effort to drive up for the day. It is an overwhelming experience, so I'm going to take a few videos just to kind of show what's going on inside the showroom. There are thousands upon thousands of people in there, and there are like 1,000 vendors. Like, it's a massive, absolutely massive show. So if you've ever been to Chicago's Rosemont Donald E. Stevens Convention Center, this is where it's held. It's a very big convention center. And so when I go to this one, typically when I go to a show, I always tell people, do a lap before you buy something big. You don't have that ability to do that at this show. It is such a big show. It takes you the entire day to get through the show floor, which is why a lot of people do multiple days there. But just the way that life works out for me, typically in the last few years, I've only been able to go for one day, and I'm able to spend my budget in that day, and then I bring some cards to trade. So I always bring some cards to kind of extend my budget. I always set my budget, and then I bring some nicer cards that I really like, but if it could help me get to a card that I love without having to drop a ton of money on that card, I always bring trade bait. And yeah, so the National is here, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. It might be a longer one because I'm going to have quite a few cards to feature in it, maybe even a 2-part video. But I wanted to share with you guys what the experience is like going to the National. So let's do it. All right, it's Thursday evening. We made it back from the National. It was a long day. Couple initial thoughts from the National this year. Completely different experience for me than the previous 5. And I think a lot of it comes down to kind of, they changed a lot of things, they expanded a lot of things, and the weather. So I don't want this video to be negative, so I'm going to get the cons out of the way real quick. I'm going to do a pros and cons list. My cons, obviously driving into Chicago is never really easy. It's a 2-hour trip from here about to get to Donald E. Stevens. So traffic on the way back out is always miserable, but you deal with it. The entrance this year is completely different. I'm going to clip a video here of what we experienced going in. They did not have lines. Actually, they put us into a line, and then we hear this voice yelling over everybody that says, I need 2 lines forming before you go into the escalator. So just know that if you're going into the National for general admission entrance, the entrance of the show is not going to be a pleasurable experience. It's going to be just a cattle rush into a funnel that kind of herds you into an escalator down to the show floor. Kind of spits you into a small corner of the show floor. It's a completely different entrance than previous years, and so that was kind of a bad experience for this one. It was hot. It's like 95 degrees outside, which means some of that carries over to the inside in that big convention center. It was really sweaty, lots of BO, really warm throughout the show, but still you deal with it. Tickets went up $5 for general admission, and everything I found in my experience was a little bit pricey. I was still able to come back with some great deals, which I'm going to feature in here. But in my experience this year, I feel like Slab Town is the entire thing. Everybody has slabs. Everybody has grading, and that's just the nature of the beast in modern collecting. But I feel like everything was inflated. Everything was over comp that I was looking at. I was still able to find a few good deals. People are willing to work with prices. But yeah, so those are the cons. I don't want to dwell on those. I still had a good experience, a good enough experience. So here's the pros. Going into Chicago, you don't really ever expect to find cheap parking. Here's the exception. Right across the street from Rosemont, if you do the self-parking, it's $15 for the day. That's not bad at all. One of the biggest pros to this show is everything is there. It's a massive show. Every card that you can think of, including a $6 million Mickey Mantle card, which I'll clip here. Everything is there. So if you're looking for something specific, you can always ask the dealers, and if they don't have it, they can kind of point you in the direction of somebody who might have it. So that's kind of one of the experiences that I see there. Everything is available there. Unopened packaging, which you might want to get to those early if you're planning on buying a box or two. Get to those early if you plan on buying unopened. And then there are great people there. Found numerous vendors that were willing to just have conversations about things, deal on products, and just make it a good experience for the people. So got the pros and cons out of the way. I'm going to show you guys what I picked up, which is kind of a smaller haul compared to my previous years of going to the National. So let's get into that. I'll share with you what I picked up, and then I'll show you some of my absolutely favorite things that I saw at the show today. So let's dive in. All right, one of my main objectives, every year I go to the National, I want to get Jeter cards that I do not have for my collection. And so whether that means typically getting an autograph or a relic or a patch or a low numbered card or whatever the case is, this year I found a booth that had 50-cent Jeter inserts, and it was an entire 3,200 count box full of them. And so I went through and I picked up just a ton, actually 180 of them. Oh, there's a Cal Ripken that slipped in the mix there. But I picked up 180 cards, 170-ish Jeters of all different types. Base cards I didn't have, inserts that I thought were cool, maybe I did have them, or I just picked up a couple like of the rookie Derek Jeters, can never have too many of those. But I picked up 2 stacks of those. So stack 1, stack 2, somewhere around 170 to 180 Derek Jeters. So $90 worth of Derek Jeters there. A lot of them are ones that I do not have, as far as I know. So when I catalog them, I will be able to say I increased my Derek Jeter catalog by 100 cards. And so that made me happy to find that booth. Found a guy that had a few non-sport cards, just 10-cent Spider-Man cards. I paid $1 for these 10 Marvel cards. And of course I'm working on the metal set. I found a couple of those. So those were cool to find too. Some dollar cards. Picked up a Pokemon card for $1. Some cool Marvel. Another strong guy, metal. This was a really cool Thanos. The orange on the outside here is like acetate, so you can see through it. Super cool card. Got that one for $1. Scarlet Spider for $1. Picked up this really cool one. It's definitely George H.W. Bush, right? Or somebody like that. But not sure where these came from. Kind of cool card. Picked up a neat Lord of the Rings card, Pippin. A cool Itchy and Scratchy card for $1. Picked up a cool early Dirk Nowitzki. Always liked watching him play. A cool Necro and Ryan card for $1. Trey Turner rookie for $1. And a Ripken insert I did not have for $1. So those are all pretty much the cheap ones. I guess I'll put a couple cards in the stands here. Maybe we'll pick... Yeah, we'll pick Scarlet Spider. Earlier on in the show, I found a table that had $3 inserts. And $3 inserts, you can get carried away real quick, because I was building a stack and I was already at 28 cards before I knew it. So I had to whittle that down. It was early in the show. I didn't really want to spend a ton of money on $3 inserts. So I ended up finding about 20 of them. So I got them for 50 bucks. So this cool Beau Bichette lava refractor, super nice looking. A Judge Stadium Club Chrome Beam Team. I love these inserts. A nice silver pack or Mojo Aaron Judge. Couple sweet Ken Griffey Jr. colored parallels. An orange mosaic, a pink prism, and a nice silver pack Ken Griffey Jr. I like that one. A couple really nice Mike Trout refractors. This one's from Allen and Ginter Chrome. This one is from 2021 Topps Chrome. Of course, I had to come back with some Miguel Cabrera inserts, which this is pretty much it for Miguel Cabrera. I did not get much Miggy. I felt like his prices were pretty inflated for what I've paid in the past. So a nice mosaic insert and a really cool triple threads numbered to 150. And then a few Jeters that I found in the mix. I will always buy this one. I love it. This was 2014 was his last season. Series 1 of Topps, and in Topps Chrome, they had this card as their number 1. Super cool image. This is after he hits the walk-off hit in his last home game at Yankee Stadium, I think. A nice Flair showcase. A Topps insert, Upper Deck insert, Topps Pristine, didn't have that one. Another Stadium Club Chrome, a Beam Team, World Baseball Classic 09, I think. So 09. Yeah, 09. Another Topps Chrome insert, and a silver pack. I think I already have this one. I know I have this one in a colored parallel, but for that price, for $3, I was willing to pick that up on a gamble. So there's that. Next, I picked up some non-sport. Picked up a couple of these. These are the Japanese Disney 100. I'm not exactly sure what set they came out of, but I got these Spider-Man cards for like $2 a piece, I think. $2 or $3 a piece. And then I got this Mandalorian one also. Figured that was pretty cool. Couple bucks a piece on those. And then I found somebody that had just a small selection of Topps Chrome Star Wars. Picked up a couple refractors and this card for $10. And then he threw this one on the table after a minute or so of me looking around, and I asked how much it was, and he said it'll be $10. So I picked up these four for $20. So super cool cards there. Like those ones a lot. And then kind of the big part of my haul, where most of my money went. Not many years have I come home from the National with extra money from my budget. This was that year where I came home with a good chunk of money left, because I really felt like the things that I was looking at were pretty pricey. But the few good deals that I did find are here. My buddy Will actually found this one. I'm working on this 1966 Batman Black set. I did not have number 46. Yep, 46. Did not have number 46 in my set yet. And then in one of the last tables that we were just looking through some $1 and $2 boxes, finding some oddball stuff. Will looks over and he sees this one sitting on one of their back displays. Now, this has been a tough card for me to track down in a decent price. And so this one, yes, it has some condition issues. It has a crease right up the middle. The corners are really soft. It's got another crease there, but at $60, and I didn't pay $60. I had 12 $1 cards from their $1 bin, and I said, would you just take $60 for this plus the 12 $1 cards? And the guy was like, yeah, for sure. And we had some discussions about how I was trying to build this set, and he's like, I have some other ones that are great. So this one definitely had to come home with me just so I have that place filler in the Batman Black set. the #1 Batman is a very expensive card if you find it. So I had to pick that one up when I saw it. There was a table of kids that had mystery packs. And I don't know if it was like their dads or somebody they know had the setup there, and they just had some mystery packs they wanted to throw out. So I took a chance. It was $25 for a slab mystery pack. The first time I opened the slab mystery pack, it was a J. Bruce BGS slab, and I was like, that's a terrible slab for $25. And they had a deal where if you hated the card, you could have another one. And so I was like, I'll just open a second one. Pulled the Gleyber Torres, PSA 10, figured I could have done a lot worse than that. So I walked away kind of having lost. I know this is like probably a $10 or $15 card. There's no way it's worth $35. It wasn't even worth the $25 that I paid for the mystery pack. So walked away with that one. It was a gamble. That's why I don't gamble, because it was definitely not a winner on that one. I bought this at the first table that we stopped at. The Spencer Torkelson green foil 2022 Topps Update rookie PSA 10. These are tough pulls, very tough pulls. This one is numbered 406 out of 499, and I paid $40 for it. So pretty happy with that purchase there. Was able to find that one, locked that down right away, kind of got the money flowing, made my first purchase right away. Pretty happy with that one. Then not too long after that, within about half an hour, I found this one. Wander Franco, Ben Baller, Topps Chrome. It's an SGC 10. I got this for $35. I really feel like that's a pretty good deal. So Wander is having a pretty good year. Obviously, he's not, I don't think he'll be in the MVP talks by the end of the season, but he's on a good team. And I figured that was a good one that I couldn't pass up. $35 for this one. Now I have a graded 10 Wander. Very cool card. And the last two cards, where the bulk of my money went, was in two cards. I've been looking at Gordie Howe autographs for a while now. I've been trying to find the right one, the right deal, and there was a guy that had about 7 or 8 different Gordie Howe autographs, and it took me probably 15 minutes to make a decision on which one I liked the most, but I got this for $200. That's right around where comps are. Maybe you can find them for $190, maybe you can find them for $225, but I really felt like this was a great one. I love the Mr. Hockey insignia. It's a nice signature, good condition card. I had to pop on it for $200. So I saw one earlier in the show, and it wasn't an SP game use. It was a black diamond, and the guy wanted $400 for it. And I was like, I almost bought that one at $400. It was almost identical, but it was just black diamond and not SP. I'm so glad I didn't buy that one. Found this one, popped on it real quick. Obviously, I had to decide between a couple other ones that were in the case there, but really happy with this purchase. Very cool card there. And the last one. I've been working on completing my Topps 1969 or 68 set, and I did not have a Nolan Ryan rookie yet. So I'd been looking for one of these all day. Obviously, you find ones that are higher grade, and they're in the thousands and thousands of dollars. I was asking around, as I asked probably a dozen different tables, do you have a raw, which means ungraded, or very low grade Nolan Ryan? And nobody did, except for this Clean Sweep auctions place. And it's a PSA 1. PSA 1. But I am so happy to have this card completed for that set. It's a very tough card. I just wanted a low grade placeholder. You can see how much it has on the price tag here. $650, which is well over comps, but I asked if I could take a look at it. I took a look at it. There was another one that was another PSA one that was $750, and I think the corners were a little bit better. This one had better centering, believe it or not. But as I put it back in there and I was like, I'll think about it, the guy was like, hey, we have 40% off all of our vintage tops. And I was like, well, at 40% off, I can get this for right around $400. And so I was super happy with that. I made the purchase. I know it's a little bit over comps what you can find on eBay, but you can't always find them on eBay for that comp. So I got the card for $390, and that was my big purchase. So National 2023 is in the books for me anyways. It's just getting started for a lot of other people. There's still Friday, Saturday, and Sunday to go. It's going to be super busy. It's going to be super hot. It's going to be hot tomorrow, especially on Friday, going in there. So if you're heading out there, just make sure that you're kind of prepared for a delay at the start. It's going to be a huge rush of people, and they didn't really have the entrance organized for us this time. So still a great experience, great company. I got to spend time with my buddy Will, my buddy Jeremy, and my buddy Dan, and we got to talk cards, we got to talk collecting, we got to talk about life on the way up there, and the way back we got to stop for some food. So that's kind of what this is all about for me, and obviously coming back with some cool deals that you see in front of you. So if you ever have any questions about shows, how to organize for a show, how to prepare for a show, or just going to a show, what you should look for, please feel free to put it in the comments down below. I'm always up for suggestions, comments, discussions in the comment section. But hopefully this video was insightful for you. Hopefully it helps you prepare for going to the National, whether it's this year in 2023 or it's in coming years, 2024, 25, 26, whatever year you're going to go to it. This year was different. And I don't know if it's bad. I don't think it's bad. I think it was just different. It was a different experience. I came home with a lot less cards. I feel like everything is kind of still going up. And who knows how long it's going to keep going up. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your continued viewership. Until next time, keep collecting and have a great night.
How you doing? Good. 10.